seen as violent and angry. But what we really are is just trying to make sense of a system that has predated us and that determines our future, and that in many ways exploits us and our parents. So we live in a world where someone like Bill Gates would say, if you're born poor, that's not your fault, but if you die poor, that's your fault. And these kind of notions of the American dream and the Black Lives Matter in the United States and the anger of young people there brings together all of us in this global crisis that we're in. This huge debt, when we talk about education being a death sentence, when we talk about homelessness not being necessarily a choice, but a predetermined reality given the structural inequality that exists in the system. And so these are some of the things that we as young people want to be at the fore. We speak about state capture, but I think the real conversation we should be having is the capture of democracy. Because in our understanding of democracy, it's a system of justice and equality. And we speak about equality without remembering the fundamental underlying thing to equality, which is justice. And there's simple situations in our country where justice is just ignored or forgotten about or complicated by market principles and just business talk about what should look like a democracy, and we forget what actually is a democracy. So I think a good example would be to look at how quick we are to clean up the streets, as we like to call them. And recently it happened with the AIDS Summit in Durban. But we can look at 2010 in the World Cup and how quickly we were to kind of just delude ourselves into believing that we were in a better position than we actually are. And we've mastered this art of deluding ourselves as South Africans. As one of the most unequal countries in the world, we've really mastered that. And maybe it's a coping mechanism. Maybe it's what we do to try and make ourselves feel better about where we're going. But I think where we're going is what really needs to be spoken about. And so one of the main concerns of young people is that simple idea of justice. And that's when we talk about the Constitution, we often get torn into conversations about what's realistically realizable. And even free education at a higher education level in the Constitution isn't actually committed to. Basic education is committed to. But even there, we forget the racial elements that underpin the inequality in the basic education system. So when we talk about the matric pass rates, we'll often celebrate the 73% or whatever it is, but we forget that even the way that that is calculated excludes a large portion of the youth who drop out between grades 10 and 12, and that's about 50%. And then when we talk about higher education, we also exclude a huge amount of, also about 43% of students who drop out in their first year. And there's this huge cohort of students, huge cohort of young people who I like to refer to as the forgotten youth. We just, poof, they don't exist, They exist in the negativity, the anger, the crime, the rape, the ills of society. We like to remember them then. But when we actually think about how society and democracy has let them down, how constitutionalism in a very superficial sense has let them down, we don't remember them. And so what good is a constitution if it only actually serves its purpose when maintaining white privilege and not when actually questioning and acknowledging the huge role that race played in our past and the huge role that it plays right now, unless we start to actually consider these things in an honest way, and when I say the youth are angry, it's not like we want to be angry, I went to Wits. I don't need to be as angry as many others that are in much worse situations. But what angers me is our complicity as society, especially as privileged components of society. And this complicity that we have really does have the unfortunate power of planting the seeds for destruction, planting the seeds for violence. Violence is not something that we like or dislike. It's an unfortunate inevitability. if we can't share in the country's wealth, if we can't create a system where we acknowledge that we need to share in the country's wealth, then we're inevitably going to be sharing in the destruction.